welcome back to Cape Critiquers, everybody. Today we are watching Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. It's probably my favorite line in the whole movie. Just like iambic, pentameter, fucking Shakespeare. I feel like the themes in this are just like baked into everything again. Sam and Frodo's journey just screams loyalty. The Battle of Helm's Deep is just like perseverance and everything.
Oh, yeah. Just being completely fucking outmanned, even when they get help.
Yeah. What was it, like 1 to 200 it was originally?
I think like they had like 300.
Yeah, right.
Before the elves.
Yeah.
That was including the kids and
Yeah.
whoever can hold
against 10,000.
Against 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this movie is just like the Helm Deep movie a bit. Or at least that's what like the general public sees it as. To me, it's more like the Gollum movie.
I do like the Gollum and Faramir parts a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Especially Gollum. Gollum really intrigued me. I would like to know a little bit more about him.
Smeagol.
Yeah.
He used to be a hobbit.
Well, something
Allegedly.
like a hobbit.
Something
Yeah.
like
What was weird to me is like he's only 500 years old, but I guess that's enough time for like hobbits to evolve or whatever.
Maybe.
You know.
Also, he was corrupted by
He was twisted by the ring.
But it was like he was once something like a hobbit.
Yeah.
He wasn't once a hobbit. You know.
I'm just saying, like, you know, he probably looks drastically different than he did also.
I think for a second installation in this trilogy, it kind of felt like the middle of a story.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I do like how it starts with a bit of like a callback to the end of the first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
With Gandalf.
And I thought they did that really well.
Yeah, I'm sure that was like a studio thing too, where it's like you gotta fucking remind people.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
But it did work for me.
Especially since...
Even if you watch them back to back, like,
Yeah.
kind of wouldn't be too weird to have that.
Right.
You know,
well,
if
it was
you
a
watch
different
all the way
perspective
through.
of that one scene.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was fine. It worked out well. And I like when they do stuff like that.
And you even get like a deeper vision of it too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get, you see the new and improved version later on in the movie, too. So.
I mean, I think there was definitely a lot of us who maybe didn't read everything or what have you, but knew that he was coming back. There was no way he was just going to be gone. You know, so I like that whole perspective of actually what happened to get him to where he later became.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember what I thought at that point.
I don't think I watched this for the first time at a point where I was conscious enough of this stuff. You know.
You know, like I might have also just subconsciously been spoiled into like knowing that he does shit.
Come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
The portrayal of good and evil was not black and white. Gollum wasn't just bad or good.
Yeah.
He's like literally conflicted. You
He's
know?
very conflicted.
You know.
But at the end of this movie, it looks like it's going in the wrong direction.
Something interesting
for our
about the end
boys.
of this movie is that parts of the third one are taken from the second book. Like the end of the second book, which I thought was interesting. Because, like, I don't know. It's just not, like, 100% faithful to the book, which I don't think is all bad, but there's definitely parts where it's like Peter Jackson just, like, added shit in that I didn't think was necessary. There's the scene where they fight against the wolves. And Aragorn
No, those wolf things, whatever
Yeah.
they are. Yeah.
Goes off the cliff.
goes off. That's not in the books.
Yeah.
And it's probably my least favorite scene in this movie because it's like, what is the point of that even?
Yeah, but I did like when he was awakened by the horse and brought back, because that was the horse that he let go free.
Yeah,
know?
that part I'm okay with, but I don't like the part where it's like the whole thing with like his elf girlfriend because that's just tying in only to be a part of that love triangle that I don't
I
care
agree.
about.
Yeah.
There was no point.
There was
in
no
sending
reason for
him
that.
over the cliff because nothing happened in between the time he went off. Everybody thought he was dead, and the time he came back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing
there
of
was-
significance.
No,
in
there
that
was no revenge
storyline.
killings
Yeah.
or oh
he
my
didn't
God,
gain
you killed my-
anything. You know.
It was kind of like, oh, you showed up.
Yeah. Like actually though, it was just like, he went off the cliff.
And he showed up with information that they probably knew anyway, that they're coming.
Yeah.
I saw them.
The elves would have been able to tell them that anyways. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They
Although-
basically came and did.
Yeah, they didn't know they were coming, and when they showed up, it was like, oh, thank you for that information. We already
Just
know.
like the whole love triangle with Aragorn is just like fucking pointless.
Yeah.
And that's just like Hollywood filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when, and I forget the other woman's name.
Eowyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes a liking to him. That
Yeah, sure.
she's the one in the castle, right? So she
It
takes
happens in the books, but it's like significantly
But it's not
downplayed.
like I forgot that he had a whole relationship and they had to re-explain it
Yeah.
to me. That's what I think they were trying
Also
to
just,
do was
like,
re-explaining that to
don't
people.
care. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's like so much other stuff happening that takes precedent over that.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
100%. But that's something that happens in a lot of these types of movies. Oh, we have to have a love scene. You know, there has to be love interest thing going on. And,
I
there's
felt
some
like
movies that just don't need it.
in the first one though, like it actually had stakes to it.
Yeah, right.
Like their
Well, see,
relationship
but
with
that
the
was
elves.
different.
Right.
That was more natural or organic in that, but there was no reason to put it into this.
And they made
like
it
that.
difficult because her name is Zioan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the other one's name is Arwen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, I'm kind of like in my head. It's like
I have nothing but trouble with the names in this.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so
I mean,
many
you have
the
fucking
names of
Boromir
groups
and his brother's Faramir.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, Boromir and
Yeah,
Faramir.
Faramir. I mean, oh God.
Frodo, Bilbo.
Do you know like the whole like thing of Lord of the Rings is like Tolkien made the languages before the books. Just because
Okay,
like
cool.
he's a linguist in
Very
real
cool.
life. That's
Yeah.
why
He
it
had a lot
took
of
so
time
long.
on his
That's
hands.
kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So it's just like that's what happens when you get a linguist to make a name. I
Making
guess.
it,
You know?
right.
I mean, yeah, no, I can't knock the lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This project, books and movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible, the scale of all of it.
Yeah.
It is. And I think they handle it very well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mhm.
compared to the first one, this one definitely... I don't think the first one has filler.
No.
This one has
Yeah.
some filler.
They made up a lot of time with.
Not even. It was so fucking boring. Half the time for me, I really
Yeah.
did find the fucking.
So this one is like...
It's slower paced.
It's because there's
So
like you're diving into like human politics in this one,
Yeah.
like, and it's not just like that fun adventure story like the first one.
And
But I
don't
like
forget,
the fun
this
adventure.
one kind of split into like 4 different stories.
Yeah.
You know, so you had, like you said, the Frodo.
Yeah,
With the
I agree. I
ring,
think
yeah.
the most fun parts of this movie are the fun adventure stuff.
Yeah.
Right. The Helms keep
I'm sorry,
on
but-
wherever Gandalf went. You had the Ents.
I didn't.
Right?
I didn't really give a shit about the king sitting in a throne that's dying
Well, he was
or
possessed.
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 Yeah.
Either way,
That
it
was
just,
Yeah,
all
that was
right.
kind of
I thought-
important, and I kind of like that part.
it was
Yeah.
just slow, very
It's
slow.
almost like partially why Gandalf is returned
Right.
to living
Yeah.
to like fulfill, whatever he has to fulfill.
Like
Yeah.
there were a few twists, like Gandalf coming back, that I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it's just it took so long to get to those scenes.
Yeah.
that I don't know.
But Gandalf being
This movie,
white
the
and
pacing is a
Gandalf-
mess.
And
It's a
Gandalf
mess.
on the
Yeah.
horse, the white horse, almost is like angelic.
Yeah.
You know, like he's just there for the purpose.
Well,
you know?
he even says that.
Yeah.
Like that he was returned like for
Yeah.
the purpose of help saving the
Yeah.
world. I
Yeah.
guess.
What do you think the significance of Aragorn living for a while is? Like,
Yeah, he was old.
Yeah, he was old.
What are you, 30, 40, 50, 70,
Yeah.
80? What was he like?
I think 80ish. Yeah.
86 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, though, because it came up because her grandfather said he fought with
Yeah,
him.
it's
Yeah.
almost just like to give him that history, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, I guess. But
I guess
But-
you could also tie it into the fact that like his elf stuff.
But
Yeah.
I think it's more important that that's his legacy. That's almost proof that he's the son of who,
yeah,
the king.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he's-
actually a good point.
I think that's the bloodline
Yeah.
that he needs to prove. And
Well, wasn't it more like I thought they said it was like the whole like people from like Dúnedain or whatever?
it started with
Yeah.
It's
something like
not
that.
pronounced like that. I don't think.
Right.
Dúnedain, probably.
Yeah, I think his legacy that proves that he's supposed to be king.
I don't think it was supposed to be like that specific bloodline though. It's like that whole region of people.
that have that
Yeah.
longevity.
Yeah.
Like, I did think it was interesting the vision of how his elf partner would outlast him. Just not necessarily that, but more so like he would reign as king.
Right.
Even if he pulls this off and becomes king, like I guess that would make sense that he would eventually get that.
Yeah.
Probably also is like I don't remember the third one fully, but foreshadowing something.
The Return of the King. Faramir is my standout character for this one. I know that it is a change from the books, but I feel like I do like it. It wasn't supposed to be that big of a like thing for
Right.
him, and like he just let them pass or
Well,
help them
He
even.
definitely had that where he could go either way, and then there was the moment with the ring as well.
I thought
And he broke away from the ring because of Sam.
Yeah,
And Sam again, stand-up dude.
yeah. That
He's-
speech is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an amazing speech, and he's just not deterred by that ring at all. It's definitely, we've got to keep the straight and narrow, keep on the path. We have to do this.
Yeah, I did like Faramir. I wouldn't say he's my standout though. I think I
Who's
was
your standout?
Gollum for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gollum.
That one scene got me when the ring wraith showed up on the dragon.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Frodo grabs Sam and he's ready to stab him, and just Sam's looking at him like, you don't remember your Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. Yeah, that puts him over the edge. Yeah, really.
I thought it was also funny when they pull their robe.
And it looks like the Rock. I
Yeah,
thought that was
that's
great.
cool.
Yeah.
That was an
That
elf
was really
gift,
Yeah.
right? That
yeah.
cloak. That was
Yeah,
an
that
elf.
cloak was an elf gift.
Because it's
That's
not
right.
necessarily like a cloak of invisibility.
No.
No,
It's just
no.
camouflage.
It's a blend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it blends into whatever the surroundings
Yeah, that
are.
worked
Very cool.
perfect.
There's also a scene where they use the elvish rope in the extended cut.
Yes, and I did see
And
that.
it's just like it comes loose easily
Yeah,
when you
'cause-
want it to.
Well, he even said, too bad we can't take it with us, and then it tied itself and rolled up, and they were
It's
off.
funny. Yeah.
Does Frodo put the ring on?
Not in this.
No.
Not
one.
in
On
this one,
Yeah,
no.
okay.
No.
He almost was
Sam
going
was
to, and
actually
then-
telling him
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
just so he
Yeah.
could escape.
Yeah.
I can't do
And again,
this.
sacrificing himself. He was,
Yeah.
you go, and I'll take care of this, basically.
He fell into the water in the swamp with like just.
Oh, what
with
he
the-
saw.
Ugh,
Yeah.
ugh. No, I'm good.
What do you think the point of that is?
I think it was something to do with the ring. Clearly,
What do you think the whole just thing symbolizes? Like fucking swamp of dead people, you know?
That there was a great battle at
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I guess it just is.
Well, to
back
me,
then,
that
like, a
was
history thing.
like, even from the opening scenes of the first movie, I almost felt like that was the battlefield.
oh,
Yeah, it could be.
why would he be so possessed?
Yeah.
There's so much energy tied to that ring in this area
Yeah.
that it's
Mhm.
actually
and even
pulling him in.
Gollum was sort of like buttering little things about the area and everything else.
Yeah. Very cool.
Saw an interesting theory about Gollum where Gollum and Smeagol, like, they're different people. So the theory is that Gollum was some sort of entity that was, like, in the ring
Ah.
and it took over Smeagol.
Mm-hmm.
So, just interesting.
So Smeagol's the good,
It's
and
another
Gollum's
theory
the
that
bad.
I really like going into the next movie.
Mhm.
The certain character that he references in this one at the
Yeah.
end.
I don't know why, like, Gollum would be in the ring, but
This is a universe where possession like that is not. It's like dime a dozen, you know.
Mm.
but I'm just saying, like, who the fuck is Gollum then? Where, like, he would be in a ring, you know?
Yeah, there's just like entities like that in this universe.
I
where
guess,
it's
yeah.
like, a lot of people have like not split personalities, but are like more than one person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't want to spoil it because James has never seen it, but there's a character that Gollum's talking about at the end of this movie that basically is like another one of those.
But that's what he says. We're going to go see her.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the action in this movie?
Helm's Deep
Yeah.
is
Helm's Deep
Helm's
was cool.
Deep, I
to
thought
be
was
able
really
to
good.
have 30-minute battle and not have it really even get boring
Yeah.
Mhm.
is pretty incredible.
Fast forward, it reminded me a lot of Game of
Mm,
Thrones and
Game of
the
Thrones,
last
Fucking
stuff.
like the fact that they
You know?
ever thought that their stupid little battle would even fucking come close to Helm's Deep.
That's what I mean. And it
fucking
reminded
joke.
me that you could see it was definitely stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you
For
couldn't
Game of
see it
Thrones.
actually because it was all
Yeah.
dark. So
Yeah.
They like before it happened, they're like, "We're just gonna rival Helm's Deep."
Yeah, and it most certainly didn't, but it was definitely stolen.
I mean, sieges aren't that unpopular of an idea.
Yeah,
You know.
it's true.
There's so many like little details in this battle too. It's just even like Gimli and Legolas bantering, like
Yeah.
Back and
competitiveness
forth.
is
Yeah.
so funny.
That was fun.
Their relationship's great,
Yeah.
and it's just like to even have like a side thing like that is
Mhm.
great.
I even liked that one scene where they get surrounded by the horsemen
Mm-hmm.
and from Rohan. What the fuck was his name? But he gets off the horse and he's like, "I'll cut your head off if you were taller." To the dwarf, and the
Mhm.
elf like was ready, like, "Go ahead, try
Yeah.
and do it." So I guess they have a love-hate relationship.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they
Yeah,
definitely.
But
have
in the
gotten
end,
respect
they
for
got each other
other.
back. Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
That
And
was-
I
that was
actually
cool.
like him.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
was
good
cool, too.
character.
What's the name of the guy on Saruman's side that's like infiltrating basically?
Wormwood or
Mhm.
something weird like
Yeah.
that.
Characters like that are always really interesting to me because it's like everyone knows this guy's a fucking piece of shit,
Mhm.
but like politically you can't do anything about it.
But we
Yeah.
all knew the minute they didn't cut his head off, he was going to be trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
I mean
know?
he was trouble already.
Yeah.
The visual effects of the Ents and Gollum, where there aren't many bad CGI moments in this.
Mhm.
you
No.
know. Other than just like some moments where Gollum's wiggling around like on screen,
Mhm.
slippery.
Yeah, I'd even say there's a handful of shots with the Pippin and Merry where it's like it's a green screen.
Yeah, you can see it when they're up in the Ents' arms.
Yeah, who
Or
played
branches.
Gollum? Was it?
Andy Serkis,
Oh.
Yeah.
and he did motion capture for him
I
too.
was going to say he did a lot of that stuff. Yeah,
I don't know
Which
why I
is-
had
was
Anthony
just-
Hopkins in my head.
No,
Anthony-
which just adds to his range. I
Yeah.
mean,
Motion capture is weird because like back then it's not as much as a thing where like the CGI artists are like a big part of that still.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
manually going back and like
I mean,
fixing
they were like
facial features
tracing
and
his
shit.
face and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So
It's a lot
and
of work.
he didn't even have like dots on him or anything. He's just wearing like a white morph suit basically with like his face cut out. Pretty impressive stuff. Yeah. Especially for fucking 2002. I mean, yeah, and to have it hold up is quite the achievement.
Sure. I thought this film handled its storylines pretty well. Just I did like the pacing.
I think it's kind of all over the place, but it does tie together.
Yeah, the pacing didn't really bother me in this movie. I kind of liked it. I remember though the one scene with the Ents trying to figure out what to do, and I was like, oh, just push it along a little bit.
Yeah,
in that scene, that was it. But
it kind of reminds me of like a Christopher Nolan movie, where it's just like there's so much information happening. Yeah, and like it feels like this movie's going 100 miles per hour, and at the same time, fucking 2.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know. It for better or for worse, it does. For as chaotic as it all is, it does tie in at the end, in my opinion.
So at the end of this movie, Saruman is destroyed.
Saruman is still alive.
No, but I mean, his armies.
His armies and everything is destroyed, and he's caught in the tower.
So the only thing...
Because water came down, and everything's destroyed around, and he's caught in the tower.
Left is Sauron's armies.
That's right.
Because, I mean, the 10,000 that attacked, there weren't any Oliphants or whatever. There wasn't any trolls, or anything. No. This was strictly Saruman's army.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
What is Sauron's army even doing at this point? They're just like all going
He's building at Mordor.
Yeah.
I like the Rohan theme a lot. Just music's fucking amazing again.
Yeah.
It is like incredible like how ingrained the music is just like in culture, I guess. I don't know why I do like this one the most. But I feel like it might just be that it is, in my opinion, the best like mix between personal stuff and the epic stuff, grand scale.
I like this one better than the first, I think.
Even for the flaws I think it has, I would maybe, at least on a personal level, I like this one better than the first. It's definitely heavier than the first one. There's so much politics about it all, It's also just like very impressive how all of it makes sense though, and like it's.
I think this rewatch, it's definitely helping me realize like how well done the world building is.
World building is incredible.
Yeah, it's cool.
The only thing that really rivals it is Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire. That whole thing. You can go through the like lines of ancestry and just like, oh, this is how this people like 40 years ago influenced,
Yeah.
The lore of the Lord of the Rings have probably like encyclopedias written about it on it, and you could spend a lifetime trying to read all of it.
Back to what I was saying with Tolkien making language, he made like a whole language and like how it evolved along with the country and everything. It's just insane.
It was funny when you mentioned he was a linguist. They said that like in the books, you'll always see like the bow of Legolas.
Yeah.
The friend of Legolas. Only because he didn't want to write Legolas's bow or Legolas's friend.
Yeah, because I think technically you're supposed to write it with the S, but like it's just become a thing where like nobody does it anymore.
He knew his shit.
Yeah. I mean, even just like how poetic his writing is.
It's like Shakespearean, honestly, at times.
Honestly, it's crazy.
Like what I was saying with they're taking the hobbits to Isengard, like that is just like it rolls so well off the tongue. My least favorite scene, it's only in the extended cut, but it's like Gandalf's exposition where he tells Aragorn that Sauron fears the heirs of Isildur. It's not needed at all. And it's just like so boring to look at too.
For me, the entire battle with the wolf-like creatures and then Aragorn falling off the cliff and everything that transpires until he comes back.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with
I'd have to agree with you on that.
I think Peter Jackson has said it was added because he thought the movie was getting boring. Just wanted to add a fight scene.
My worst scene was when the ring wraith showed up.
The flying one?
Yeah, the flying one. And he was literally facing Frodo, and somebody shot an arrow.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was
and the thing just kind of just turns around and flies off. I'm like, oh, fuck. Are you kidding me?
At least make it flutter and be injured or something.
Yeah, and how could you injure that? I mean, one arrow, they should be the easiest shit to chase away then.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird to me, especially since you're there to get the ring. Yeah. And the guy's 4 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
Least favorite scene is the whole council of the Ents when they're trying to figure out, are we going to fight or are we not going to fight?
That took forever.
It's just, But I guess thinking on it, everything they do takes forever.
I mean, they even tell you that.
Yes.
I do think they.
Because even when he came over and they thought that they had an idea, we came up with, but it was something totally different.
We have decided you are not orcs.
Exactly.
It is very funny, but like, I do think there are species in other fantasy that I do like that are like inspired by that whole "don't be hasty," that whole thing.
Pippin's just
he
like,
seemed
what
pretty
the
fucking
fuck is wrong with
hasty.
you?
When he got to the part where the forest was shut
that's why
down.
I think they wanted to bring them there.
Yeah, no, I mean that was his
like,
on purpose, but you know he kind of made that fucking the decision pretty quick.
They had seeds.
My favorite scene is pretty much the final 15 minutes of the movie. The whole finishing of the battle, the siege on Isengard, and Sam's speech. Just amazing.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, same.
I'd also just toss in all 30 minutes of the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
My favorite scene was definitely Sam's speech, but also when the retreat happened and they went into the woods and then the trees started moving and you're like, they're done. Because that forest wasn't there before. Now it's there waiting.
Yeah, I thought the attack on Helm's Deep was just done and planned out so well, even with the explosion.
Yeah.
Right, the king says this is the best Saruman can do.
Yeah.
And then all of
It
a
is
sudden...
funny, though, that like the biggest one at all of them is the one that brings that thing in, just pulls himself up.
Yeah, remember? And they were trying to kill him.
Yeah.
You know, they hit him with friggin' bows and everything.
Kill him! I also did like the fact that like Aragorn's done like exposed and Gimli just like dives in to save him.
I saw a detail where the reason the guy like shot the first shoot
Right.
was because their longbows, which are extremely heavy, especially when you're holding them out like as far as you can. So it was just hard to keep up, I guess.
And it was raining.
Yeah.
Even the king says like, I guess it's stopped.
My rating, like I said, all of these movies are a 9.5 for me, but for this one, I'll put it at a 9 for the whole series. You know.
I rated the last one a 9.5. I will also be putting this one at a 9.
This was a little slower for me. I kind of felt like this was the middle movie. But I like the fact that they took the different stories. It was done well, so I'm going to give it a 9 also.
Yeah, I'm a straight 9.
Give it 8.5.
You were bored.
He
I
got
was
bored.
slightly bored.
I can understand that. It's very heavy.
It's
movie.
long.
A lot of dialogue.
So I got up, I walked away for a little while, I came
you
back.
came back. It's one
and
of
I
those
was like,
type of
I'll
movies.
watch it tomorrow, and then I put it back on again. I don't.
So, James, having never seen the trilogy, do you have any predictions for what would happen in the third one?
I have no idea. I'm just excited. I'm hoping. I know there's a lot of big battles coming our way, so that's going to be.
Do you have any predictions as to what Smeagol Gollum is referencing when he says he's going to have her kill them? You're never going to guess it in a million.
I'm never going to guess. I don't
no,
think I have a...
is this person? Have we heard of her before?
Nope.
Nope.
No fucking clue.
It is like, even if you've seen the movie, it's a little bit hard to remember.
Yeah,
I just remembered.
even if you don't know the lore,
Yeah.
you don't even know.
Frodo's mom.
One other thing I wanted to say, I thought there was a major improvement in the cinematography.
The
Yeah.
cinematography
Not
was
a lot of fucking direct face
Oh my
shots.
God.
I even thought the transitions were better. They have a similar one to that like funny cross dissolve in the first one with the elf, but it's just like actually done so much more stylistically and like less cheesy. He's talking to his daughter and then he's like, "You have to go to the eternal land."
That whole sequence where it's like, this is what will happen if you... Yeah.
I even thought the scene when the king was coming out of the spell and changing back to his younger looking self, I thought they did that pretty well. I mean,
Yeah,
it
pretty
looked pretty
seamless.
real. Yeah.
looking
Looking
forward
forward.
to the next one.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely looking
I'm
forward to
excited.
the next one because I'm watching with a different eye now, so I'm picking stuff.
Yeah, I have Sauron.
As a, again, first time watcher. Yes, the second one was slow, but all in all, I am really enjoying watching these. So.
Yeah. All right, next episode we will be finishing off the Lord of the Rings trilogy with Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King.
Nice.
Bye.
See you there.
Things are now in motion that cannot be undone. Authority is not given to you to deny the return of the king. Steward.
I hold your oath fulfilled.